Hey SnowRunner fans, in this video we're going to take a look at the Krawler Mountain console mod map. So in this map you start out near, I guess it's a garage, but it doesn't really show. But you can move to the garage, which is what I did because I think it offered up the Chevy pickup truck or something first off. I went in and got my Con 39 Marshall. Did what I could to give it enough chutzpah to hopefully handle this particular trail. Normally I, for some reason, take the left-hand trail when I start things. Not sure why it is. Always take the left-hand fork. No idea why. But this time I decided to go to the right. So we immediately get onto this really rocky trail. Right? I mean, just immediately kind of brutal. On the other hand, unlike some of the other maps that I've played around with in the last few days, and I won't mention any here, but unlike some of those maps where I wasn't as successful as I would have liked to have been, this one is challenging but not impossible. One of the maps had me bouncing down a hillside like Homer Simpson. Do, oh, do, smack, smack, do. Anyway, not good at all. This map, on the other hand, is, again, challenging, not impossible. And even with something as sort of lightweight, if you will, as my Con 39 Marshall, it's not really anything stupendous, does a pretty good job of this trail. And again, this is not an easy trail by any means. In many ways, this trail reminds me of when I lived a little further east than I do now, and we used to go hiking in the Adirondacks in upper New York State, and when you go hiking on the trails in the mountains like that, you usually end up hiking along or up and down paths that are basically spring runoff trails, if you will. So the ice freezes along them, the ice and the snow through the winter. And then when it thaws, a lot of it sort of goes towards these areas and runs down the mountain. So what you end up with is a lot of rocks being moved around and over time filling up the paths with rocks of all sizes. And this completely reminds me of hiking those trails, although the rocks are more densely packed in those particular trails. But this reminds me a lot of those, and I got to tell you, honestly, could probably walk up this path faster than you can drive up it. That's not to say anything bad about this truck or anything amazing about this path. It just is what it is. I mean, the average walking speed's about 3 miles or 5 kilometers an hour, but when you're walking along paths like this, it might be more like a half a mile an hour, or almost a kilometer an hour or so. But this Con 39 Marshall at times is just sort of sitting there, trying to get out of whatever it's gotten itself into. One of the things you might have noticed, or you will notice now that I bring it up anyway, is that I'm not leaving the Marshall in auto, right? I'm going between low, and sadly that's the only choice in the low gearing right now on this map with this vehicle. I'm going between low and reverse. And the reason is that I want to leave the diff lock on, and it'll only stay on in low or reverse. If I put it in auto, I'll lose the diff lock and I'll be slipping and sliding like a skater on dull blades. Just will not happen. Notice that I have to use the winch from time to time. I'm trying to keep the winch's use to a minimum though, because I'd like to make this run sort of as lifelike as possible, if you will. And in real life, you really don't want to be getting out of your Jeep every 2 minutes to spend 10 minutes hooking up the winch and then unhooking the winch and then drive for a minute and a half and then hook up the winch and unhook the winch and blah, 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 etc., etc. So you don't really want to be doing that kind of thing. So in the game, I'm trying to keep it to a minimum and only using it when I'm absolutely stuck. Can't go any further in low or can't back up in reverse. Then I'll just use it mostly for like a lateral move or just a slight forward motion to get me going. Some of these rocks are as big as my tires. And when I come up against something like that, you may have to use the winch. Not to jinx myself or anything, but I've been out here for, heading for close to 7 minutes now, and although I have used the winch, I haven't had to use it to put me back on all 4 wheels yet, which is good. In other words, I have not flipped my Marshall. That's always a good thing. This is a wicked trail, though. Not impossible, but challenging. You will be moving your joystick such that you're switching constantly between low and reverse, trust me. Now, how did I get stuck in the trees here? Boy, oh boy. No, we're almost out. We're just, we're gonna do a bunny hop over this, I think, and continue on our way. Yeah. We're almost out of here. Here we go. I'm not sure how I got off the rocky path. I guess one of the rocks must have kicked me over or something. Got into the trees there for a moment. There we go, bunny hopping. Pommel horse. Very cool. Nice move, dude. Nice move. 8.8. Oh, man. This is very similar to some stuff that I used to do in a Jeep years and years ago. Although it was mostly mud trails back then. I don't think I would have taken the Jeep into the trails that had that many rocks. Oh, and there we go. First time we flip over. Just over 9 minutes in, and we flipped the Jeep over. We flipped the Marshall over. Very good. That's not too bad, actually. Because that was a pretty crazy trail when you think about it. We're in the mountains. It's rocky. It's narrow. It's rocky. Did I always say that? Rocky? Yeah. So we're heading for about 10 minutes in, and when we get done here in a minute or two, I'm going to put up the map of Krawler Mountain, and you can see how much we'll have covered in the 10 minutes or so, and it'll give you an idea of how much playtime you can get just by driving around this map. I'm thinking about an hour or more. I would say I cover anywhere from a quarter to a fifth of the map, maybe. We'll see when I take a look at it. Still bouncing around. Oh my. Oh yeah, water. Oh, here we go. It's good. What a lovely map, by the way. Graphics are amazing. See, that looks like it's grabbing my rear wheel. Yeah. A little bit more on the winch. A little bit more forward movement. And now we'll take a look at that map. You can see that we've covered at least a fifth of the map in the 11 or 12 minutes that I've been playing. So that should give you an idea of what to expect if you play around on Krawler Mountain. So if you liked this video or found it helpful, please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. I'd really appreciate it. And in the meantime, keep yourself safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye for now.